Hi, this is Tracy Rose from Sydney, Australia and tracyrose.com. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and grandfathers out there. I'd like you to introduce you to a very special person in my life. This is my grandfather, Stan. Hello. I've twisted my grandfather's arm because I wanted to see how your fathers and grandfathers have influenced your life, and sort of, if they've taught you any life lessons. I'd love to know about them. And so what I'd like to do is really share something that Grandpop has taught me, and that has helped me in my personal life and also in my online business life as well. And that lesson is that really it doesn't matter what happens to you in life. It's about how you react to what happens to you in life, whether you get over that, and how your life then progresses after what has happened to you. Okay, so I really want to touch on one thing that I really remember, and that has really taught me a big lesson, and that was how you got sick a couple of years ago and you were given some a pretty bad diagnosis from the doctors, weren't you? So can you just tell us a bit about what happened, first of all, and what the doctors told you would be your diagnosis?
Oh, I had a minor operation, and there was actually, while within my stay in hospital, I got an infection, and so they attempted to rectify that by with medication. But that medication poisoned the blood in my body, and as a result of that, I was advised that I wouldn't be able to do many things in life, including driving a car, so forth. So that rather upset me.
But I remember at the time that was... Grandma, you're walking in the back of it. Okay. Okay. So I remember at the time that, feeling really bad for you because, you're a pretty active person, and you've been in the building and construction trade most of your life. And tell everyone how old you were when you retired.
Actually retired last year, about 82.
Crazy. Basically, Grandpop's led a pretty active life for a very, very long time. So then when we saw him, and he was really struggling to walk without feeling very nauseous all the time, and then obviously having your independence taken away and being told that you wouldn't be able to drive, and you were obviously having trouble in walking, how did that make you feel at the time?
Oh, rather angry and rather upset at the time. But anyway.
But how long did you stay angry for?
Oh, not long. I was determined then to get out of hospital and get well and do what I could possibly do, or attempt to do much of what I'd been doing beforehand.
I remember coming to visit you, and you were like in a rehab center, and this was probably a big shock for me because I've always seen you really active, and you weren't able to do much at all. So how did that make you feel?
Oh, not good in that I thought, well, if it's going to be permanent, I didn't like the thought of that. So I thought, well, the only thing we can do is to attempt to be positive and try and work our way out of it, which we did with the help of my wife.
And that comes to my next question. What did you do to make yourself read self-help books? Did you consult other doctors? How did you get better?
Oh, simply by trying to be positive, I would suggest. I went to doing the rehabilitation work, which was exercising and so forth. They seemed to do me some good. I was attempting to get out of there every day, trying to convince the doctors that...
Now, you and Grandma obviously are, religious. You go to church every week. Did that or did prayer come into your rehab?
Actually, I forgot to pray, but
Don't tell Grandma.
my wife, she was praying for me, so that was beneficial.
She prayed enough for both of you.
Yes, she must have lots of influence up there.
Yeah, she probably does. She's pretty good. I remember you started walking again, and I think we went for a walk, and there's a street down the road, and it's called Achievement Avenue. And I remember you going for that walk with you.
Right.
And how did that make you feel, being able to walk again?
Oh, very good. And yeah, and that was about the only thing that was any good about walking. But, in that it helped to improve my physical abilities. 4 kilometres a day, which is about what I do.
Really? That's more than I do in a week. What about the first time that you drove a car again? What was that like?
Well, I was rather cautious because I was advised that it wouldn't happen again. But
wow,
we've overcome that, and we've just recently been on a round trip of 2,000 kilometres, and I did all the driving.
To me, that's an amazing positive attitude that has obviously resulted in a positive outcome. Do you feel like you've always been like that, or have you become like that?
Oh, I don't really know. I've never thought about it much, but I suppose if you're raising with your wife 8 children, I suppose you've got to be positive. Otherwise, you'd all fall in a heap.
Well, that is our Father's Day message for today. So it's really not about what happens to you in life. It's about how you react to what happens to your life. Any other important advice for me? For anyone else watching?
Well, just eat good foods, I suppose, and drink a good wine, I suppose, and try to be positive, and at least don't sit around. Get out and do something.
How old are you now, Grandpop?
Oh, 83 now.
83. 83-year-old who retired from building just last year. I don't think you're fully retired, because I caught you next door building the house only a couple of months ago, I think.
Oh.
You were still working on that. So I think you're still secretly working and not telling Grandma.
I didn't expect anybody to catch me.
Okay. Thank you very much for having this interview.
Thank you,
I really
Tracy.
appreciate it. Alrighty. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Have a fantastic day. See you in the next video. Bye.